Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Nicholas with Flip 360, and in today's video, I want to show you how you can start to leverage AI to stay in front of new prospects. This is going to be a quick one, so make sure that you stay tuned and take notes. Now, before we begin, understanding what are new prospects. Essentially, I'm referring to leads. Any new client that's potentially looking to buy, refinance, or whatever it is, whether you're in mortgages or not, this should hopefully be able to help you out. Now, understanding who it is that we want to target is the first step. In this video today, we're going to focus on targeting any new lead that enters our system. And then what we'll do is we'll branch it off into specific leads that are looking for purchase, refi, or anything else. So we're going to create our campaigns to make sure that we essentially cover every single type of contact that would enter our system and that we can have very specific verbiage to make sure that the client feels like this is custom generated specifically for them. So how do we do this? First of all, you have all sorts of tools at your disposal, whether you're signed up with Leap 360 or not. I'm sure that you could do this at home. So let's get started. The first thing that I always recommend is having a good AI tool at your hand, whether you're using Claude, ChatGPT, whatever it is. Make sure that you have something that's going to be able to help you generate content. Now, if you're a great content generator and you could do it yourself, by all means, throw away the AI and do it yourself. But for the next step, we are going to need a CRM. You're going to need a system that's going to allow you to house data, because if you're funneling leads and you're getting clients into the door, you want them to actually get somewhere. You don't want them to open a door and they fall down a big black hole. That's the last thing that we want, right? We need a place that we could store our clients and any of our contacts as well. And then lastly, we're going to put it all together. So let's get started. All right. We're in our system, and right now I'm going to head over to create a workflow where we have our AI workflow builder. And right now, I want to build something simple that we can put as a kind of like just a base layer, and then we can build off of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my AI, which is Leah, and what I'm going to tell her is to let's actually see. When a new lead enters the system, immediately send an email and an SMS and create a reminder for me to follow up. I want the content to be AI generated as well. So what I just prompted Leah, which as you could see was anytime a new lead enters the system, to send an email and an SMS. Now I have the option of using generic templated emails and SMS templates. However, I want to use AI generated content, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this in the first place. First of all, you do not want to use AI generated content if you haven't vetted a system, if you don't know what it looks like, if you just aren't confident in it. But if you are confident in it, like I am with my own system, obviously, then you can go ahead and do it. And this takes time, this takes training, this takes providing context, memory, etc. You want to make sure that the AI sounds like you and it doesn't just sound like a robot. Because of the fact that our AI is able to pick up on the context of the client, meaning anytime a lead enters, it'll look at any notes, any existing history, the loan details, etc. It's going to be able to generate a very specific message for that client. So as you can see, it automatically built this, and it said anytime a lead is created, we're going to generate a welcome email. We're going to send a welcome email. We're going to generate an SMS, and then we're going to send the SMS as well. And then we're also going to create a follow-up task. So it's created all those steps for me. But now, let's say I'm not happy with this. Let's say I want to take this a step further and I want to say, okay, this is great, but when I have leads that come in, they fill out maybe online or whatever it is what they're looking for, whether it's a purchase, refi, cash out. So let's go ahead and start to segment that. Now we already have the base layer, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over here so I can actually manually do this if I'd like, and we're going to use our router, which allows me to essentially create multiple paths that my clients can move through. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to route everything based on the loan purpose. So if the client's looking to do a purchase, they're going to go over here. Now let's add another branch for clients that are looking to do a refi, just regular refi. We'll add one more for clients that are looking to do cash out. And then because of the fact that I don't really focus on anything else in my business per se, we're just going to create a default branch that if they fall into any of these other categories, whether it's HELOC, reverse mortgage, whatever it is, it's just going to be generic messaging that's not too specific for these. So obviously, as you can see, everything's kind of going through this main path right now, which we're going to rename over to purchase. And then over here, first of all, I'm going to save it in case I always want to make sure I save it early. I just like to do that. But over here, I'm going to now start to generate content that's going to go out to the refinance path. So I can either prompt my AI to do this, or I could just go in and do it myself, we're going to actually go ahead and prompt the AI to do it. When the branch path is refinance, send an email and SMS as well. And then now we're going to go over here. We're going to go ahead and hit send. And then we're going to let it cook up the workflow. Now, the idea behind this is that, once again, I could easily build a simple campaign, but I really want to make sure that I'm building a catered campaign, making sure that it's extremely unique and custom to the client. So that way they feel like, hey, this messaging was made specifically for me. So we'll probably give it about another 10, 15 seconds or so. And then while the AI is doing its thing, and then we're going to go ahead and let it work. Perfect. Okay. So as you guys can see, it did the same thing right there. Generate welcome email, send welcome email, generate welcome SMS, send welcome SMS, and then they also created a task. Now, here's another thing that I want to talk about. Before you guys are done with this, obviously, we're going to run through this whole thing, but you want to make sure that, is there a buyer's agent involved? Is there anybody else that I need to include on these marketing on this marketing content, right? Now, typically, if you have new leads that are entering a system, more likely than not, you won't have a buyer's agent that's involved that early unless they came in from a specific agent, which is a different deal. So we're just going to assume that the lead possibly has a co-borrower. So now what we're going to do is, on the send email portion, what I'm going to make sure I do is I'm going to actually CC the co-borrower. In any system that you're working with, hopefully you have this feature that you're able to attach other people on the email. And let's just say there was a buyer's agent, for example. I could always CC them as well, so they see I sent a very cool intro email to the client. So now we're going to go ahead and CC the buyer's agent and the co-borrower. Next up, on the SMS, the way that it works in here is I can actually send this SMS to the main record, and I can also send it to the co-borrower as well. So what it's going to do is it's going to send 2 messages out to both of them. So that way you're making both borrowers feel like they're special, right? It's just acknowledging both of them. Obviously, I'm not going to select any of the other business contacts because I would want to actually cater specific messaging towards them. Then you'll notice over here we have a task that creates a follow-up for a refinance lead. Now, as you guys can see, when I drafted my first email, I wasn't too specific about it being FHA, or I'm sorry, I wasn't too specific about it being purchase or anything. I'm reading the FHA right here. So obviously we'll want to go back and most likely revisit that. But once again, just so you guys can see, I didn't really have to lift a finger. I understood what I needed to do, and I had the AI built it. Now, it is very important to understand that AI is never going to be perfect yet, at least. So it's really important that you test things, right? You don't just turn on an automation, you set it to go off, and you go, okay, great. Every new lead that's coming into the system, I want them to get this marketing. No, that's the last thing that we want to do. We want to make sure that we fully test it, we run through it, we make sure that the content is great before we send it out. Now, let's just say maybe I don't want to send AI content, right? Maybe for a purchase lead, I just want to send an SMS. For a refi, I want to send an email and an SMS. And then for my cash out clients, I want to send a manual email, and I want to send a manual SMS as well. What I can now do is I can come over here, and within the list of actions, I can click this, and I can actually select an existing email template within my system. Now, let's say maybe you don't have an email template that already exists. This is what I would recommend. Whatever system you're using, once again, you want to make sure that you build out some really nice looking email templates, so that way it looks super professional. For example, if I come over here and I click create new template, it's going to open up this whole new tab right here. And then from there, I can actually click on this little AI button, and I can ask it to draft an email. So let's go back. We were obviously building an email for a cash out refinance client. So I'm going to tell it, draft an email for a new lead that is looking for a cash out refinance. Bam, right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and click generate template. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't really like typing anymore. I love the talk to text functionality. It just makes things so easy. So as you can see, we got this cool little email right here that says, hi, lead client name. It'll fill in their information. Ready to unlock cash for your home. Thanks for considering company name for your cash out refinance needs. Whether you're looking to consolidate debt, make home improvements, or invest in new opportunities, we're here to guide you through every step of the way. Now, we're probably not going to talk about this too much in this video, but if you've seen any of my other videos, this is a full-blown email editor that you can come in here. You can add anything that you'd like. You can move things. You can remove them. If I wanted to, I can move this up and down. I can move it across the board, but we're just going to leave this here. I can also come in and I can throw videos if I'd like. I could throw testimonials, social links. If I want to show off my LinkedIn, my Facebook, my Instagram, my X, whatever it is, you can really customize this email to make sure that it's perfect and you're happy with it. So once I'm done with it, I can go ahead and turn it active. I can hit save right there. And then from there, I can actually select that email. We're going to hit save, and then we're just going to refresh over here. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and grab that email template that we just selected. Bam, good to go. All right, now we're going to go ahead and hit save changes. I have this email. Now we're going to want to make sure that obviously we know who this email is going to. I actually selected the wrong one. I didn't even realize, so we're going to change that. And then we're going to choose template and then select this one more time. Okay, now it's good to go. See, guys, sometimes when you're building automations, you got to make sure you double check everything. If you don't, chances are you might send the client something that maybe they shouldn't have seen in the first place. I'm going to make sure I CC the co-borrower on this, and I'll CC the buyer's agent as well. And as far as SMS goes, I kind of want to do the same thing. I don't really have an SMS for cash out refinance clients. I just don't have any in here. Maybe I could search it. No, I don't have anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our builder. We're going to click create new template. And I'm guessing you guys know where I'm going with this. I can either do it with AI or I could do it manually. So let's see what it looks like when we do it manually. I'm going to actually, talk to it. I'm going to say hi. I could have just typed that out, actually. I'm going to say hi over here, and I'm going to put first name. So the idea with variables in any system that you're using is you always want to use variables, because that way, whenever an automation is going out to any single client, you can ensure that it's going to fill in their information. If I want to put their first name and their last name, I could do that or separately, or I could put full name right here. So to put John Smith, if I delete that, and then we just put over here, let's just say we grab email, for example, it'll have their email. So you get the gist of these, right? So I could say hi lead client name, and then I could say, I see you're looking for a cash out refi. I would love to connect. When's the best time I can reach you? Boom, just like that. Created a super simple template. And then obviously I want to end it off with my signature, and then we're just going to put Nicholas Leaf 360. Boom, just like that. Now, if you are a company owner and you're building this for your team, what you can do is you can come over here, and then you could just put loan officer name just like that. Or actually, let me see. I probably don't want to use this one because it's so long. We do have a shorter one down here, I believe. Boom, right there. Yeah, that's a lot better. Loan officer first name, because we don't want to use the full name. And then also we can even look for company. And then over here, like I said, guys, we have a ton of variables. I'm going to put that just like that. And then that's how I built one right there. I can go ahead and hit save, active. Now, if you guys are curious as to what it looks like when you use the AI builder, it's pretty cool. Draft a SMS for a new lead that is looking for a cash out refinance. And you could change the tone. You could, change it up a little bit, and you can also teach the AI. And once again, this is important for any system that you're using. You want to make sure that it's customizable. If you have a system that has functionality similar to this, or you're using your AI, make sure that you're coaching it up on how to speak. I could take a look at any of these, and I can select them, use this, and then I can also save that. So now let's go back to our workflow. We're going to save it one more time and just hit refresh. And then just to make sure everything's good to go, we're going to go over here, grab this SMS. I forgot to put a title, but it's okay. We know the SMS is good. And then now I have this beautiful flow. Now let's do one last thing. For any lead that comes in that's not any of these, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to send a simple SMS right here. And then we're just going to grab a random template just for the purpose of this, because I think you guys understand how this works. So now I have a beautiful workflow right here. So once again, let's run through this. Anytime a new lead is created, and it's going to route them through whether it's a purchase, refi, cash out, or it's a default. And then it's going to go ahead and do all of this for me. There's so many more capabilities that the system obviously offers that we can do for generating and staying in front of leads. We can create tasks, create notes, add tags, remove team members, add team members. We can update certain fields. We can start and stop specific workflows. And we even have AI agents that you can have running. So that way you can actually start to communicate with the client without you being involved. This is obviously a little bit more advanced, and we'll do a separate video on that. But AI agents are awesome because they can essentially take on the job of you or even an assistant, essentially. This is how you set it up, guys. And now if you're happy with it, you've built your automation, you are super happy with the sequence, and you want to turn this on with your clients, don't do it just yet. You want to make sure you run a test first. If your system is not capable of doing this, you'll want to make sure that you just create yourself as a lead, which I highly recommend doing for any type of automation before you push it live, and actually run the automation before you actually start letting other clients into the system. So Let's take a look at it. If I come over here and I click dry run, what I can do is I can actually select myself as one of the test leads. I can come over here, select it, run test. And if I see test run is completed, that means that it actually worked. And what I can do is I can actually run a live run now, which is going to be a little bit different. Which is so the difference between a dry run and a live run is a dry run simulates it. There's no emails, tasks, SMS that will fire. However, when I do a live run, what I can do is I can search up a legitimate lead and that maybe it would match, and I can fire it off for real. And as you can see, the live run got completed. What it does is it literally sends everything in bulk. And if I were to check the email, which this is all fake data, it would actually go through, which is really cool. So once again, guys, I hope this video was helpful, helping you guys see inside of my mind and understanding how I used to be a loan officer, but I still call myself a loan officer because I work with loan officers all day, how I would build something if I was running a mortgage company, if I was getting new leads and putting them into my system and, prospecting and trying to, convert them. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if there's any topics or anything else that you guys would like to see. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and put it in the comments. Make sure to leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and join our Facebook community so you guys could see so much more of what we're doing at Leap 360. We do calls every day. We'd love to see you there. Anyways, I hope you have a great day. Join the community. Check it out. Take care.